Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dave here, and yeah, it's a new year and time to start some new videos. I haven't been completely lazy, despite what everybody's been thinking. I've been busy. I've really been busy. I've completely rearranged the workspace. As you can see behind me, I have a new setup, which I will end up showing you here in a future video. This is I've now got a workstation, new video and lighting system over here. I got a new camera set up. Not doing that for this video. I am still getting used to and figuring out all the quirks and everything on this. This is a Sony A6000 Alpha 6000, which I am loving for the photography aspect, but I'm still getting down the video part of it. Takes great video, but I want to get it down before. One of the reasons that I have switched around, or I want to switch around cameras, is as you guys have probably noticed in all my videos, this section over here on the outer edges have always been blurry. There's not anything I have been able to do with that. Plus the software that I use for the camera is finicky with my computer. So that being said, starting off the new year right, I do have a couple things coming up. I have a whole pile. If I do them out right, I will have probably a couple videos a week for you guys, so you will be entertained. One of the reviews that I have coming up for you guys is this is from Industria Mechanica, and I don't know if you guys can see that freaking light's all blurry. That's another thing that I've been working on, and one of the reasons I changed around the new thing. But this is a 1:1 scale mushroom goblin, and I don't even know where I put him. Where did I put him? I hope he didn't run off. Holy hell. Oh, he's over there. Hold on. So if you're familiar with Industrial Mechanica, they did the Dystopia, which is a really cool model, and this is this guy. So I will have a review coming up on that. He's a cool little guy. I got him for my wife is into fairies and things like that, so I thought he would look cool on the shelf with them all done up. Plus, with him being technically 1:1 scale, I can use whatever moss, twigs, things like that for a diorama base. You don't have to scale down or anything. It can be quote unquote life size because it's 1:1 scale. So this video, as I'm sure that you saw from the preview picture, now this is actually one of my grails that I've always wanted to do, and I've just never felt like tackling it. Plus, you know, it's awesome. This is by Revell, and this is the Master Series. And if you catch down there, I don't have the autofocus on, but this is actually from the Finemolds molds. Finemolds has been defunct, and I know that they were releasing these in limited quantities, in batches, things like that. And even the original ones, if you can find them on eBay and stuff like that, are going for god awful amounts, like $600-700 for the original model. Well, Revell, my understanding is that Finemolds lost the rights to distribute and produce, so they sold the molds to Revell, which does have the rights to release them, and which actually in the long run I believe knocked down the price. Retail, you can find it somewhere between $250-300. I got mine on Amazon. It was $275 shipped with Prime shipping, so I count that as a good deal. And this will be for another video, but I ended up picking this up too. I'll be doing lighting kits, and I have a photo etch set that goes with this. Unfortunately, Amazon delivered that to place in Boone, North Carolina instead of California today. Dad, that doesn't seem kosher. So we'll kind of go over, and I'm doing it this way because this thing is just so huge I couldn't get it in the camera otherwise. So this is the first thing that you see when you open the box. Some great shots of the kit done up. One of the reasons that I picked up the Haynes manual, one, it was half the price, and two, it has a lot of great shots, which you guys will see, of the actual studio set for lighting and things like that. This will not be a quick project by any means. It is 904 pieces, which, you know, compared to what we do with like perfect grades and stuff like that, but they're tiny pieces. Okay. So, and I'll give you an idea this way compared to me. And I know it's all bright. Now the Finemolds, they cast this in gray, I believe. That's how I've always seen it. So this is actually cast in a cream color, and there's actually two sides. It does screw together. I just have them pushed together. But yeah, it's approximately 15 inches this way and 12 inches this way. So I can't wait to show you guys this up close. So I'm going to pause it real quick, and when we come back, as we always do, we'll go over the manual and we'll go over all the runners. So hang in there. Alright guys, so here we are, and I'm kind of disappointed because I did want to use my new camera for this, because as you can see, I can't quite get things in focus. It's not wanting to focus on it. But you guys will end up seeing the instructions up close as I end up building it, because I'm going to do in segments of what I ended up doing. Plus I have my exposure turned way down because it is white on here. So going over the instruction manual, I haven't seen this myself. I mean, I've done a lot of research here on YouTube, and I haven't seen a lot of people going over the instruction manual, so I thought I'd do that for you guys. Has some information on here before you read, customer service in case there's any lost parts or anything. We'll go into the first page. They do have, for their paint guide over here, they do have them labeled ABC through R. Each letter represents a color. And let's see here, decal application, you know, your little warnings and things like that. Some of these are actually good to keep on hand for your Japanese kits, because it's the same symbols, it just tells you in English what it means. This kit is actually produced in Japan for Revell, even though Revell is both a European company and also here in the United States. Going over the first page, and I'm just going to go over these real quick. So you do get all the different characters in a sitting form. So I am just going to kind of blow through this real quick, because like I said, I'm going to show you guys pretty much me going through this step by step, what I've added, little changes, things like that. I do want to try and keep this to studio scale, and it will be lit. I just haven't figured out exactly how I'm wanting to do that. One of the interesting things, if you're not familiar with this kit or the studio model or anything, is, and I think Gary will probably appreciate this, aka Hummingbird, a lot of these parts you military modelers or car modelers are going to recognize, because basically the Millennium Falcon, other than the base shape, was all the greebles and exterior parts and things like that were salvaged from model kits. I mean, they tore apart probably 100 model kits for all these little detail parts. There's little engine parts, there's tank parts. It's been really fun watching other people's videos of the build on it, and different people's knowledge of model kits, and going, hey, that's the grill off of such and such brand scale tank, things like that. So that's really cool to see. And the top and bottom half do screw together. And I can't explain how stoked I am. I mean, I've wanted it. I think, and what's interesting is I keep seeing this come up. If I remember correctly, I have a list of a lot of these parts. This came off of a 1/24th scale Porsche Carrera, I want to say. But that's the transmission pieces to it. So going through, and then you do get standing figures. You get 2 stormtroopers. You get Han, Luke, and Leia. And I don't think they have a standing Chewbacca, which kind of sucks. And another thing I also noticed is they don't have a R2-D2, which makes me all kinds of hella sad. So I have to find a 1/72nd scale R2-D2. And then it does have a base, though I will not be using that for it. I'm going to be doing a custom base for it. My plans are having it like landing gear down and everything, with where I can open and close the hatch. Like I said, it'll have the lights, the landing lights, the running lights, all that good stuff. And yeah, so I doubt I'll have it in flying that way. Disappointment in the instructions that they did this in black and white. It kind of looks, honestly, it kind of looks like a crappy photocopy. It looks like something you get from China. I mean, it's not bad, and it tells you like colors and stuff, but I personally don't like it. And these are also for your decals, which I'll show you here in a second. Your back view, and just your different things. So yeah, I mean, I understand them trying to keep the cost down, but that would have been cool to see that in color. I'll do this real quick to get it out of the way. This is the decal sheet, and I'll pop you guys up. Alright, so this is the top side here, and like I said, it's approximately about 15 inches this way by 12 inches this way. You can see all the details that are on here as soon as I get my other lighting set up. Now you'll see all these pinpoints. These are all where pieces are going to end up going. You got your exhaust vents here. You get your gunner station here. Not too much. There's not really anything to see on the sides. Here's your bottom side. There are a lot of pieces molded in. A lot of people question, let me do this. A lot of people questioned, seems to work. A lot of people question why they didn't mold all of it to the exterior. Well, because they kind of wanted to keep to the studio scale. I don't think you could get the same quality detail if everything was just molded to it. That's my personal opinion. Plus, this is for a model builder, not a snap fitter. There is nothing snap fit about this kit. You can see all the details. The panel lines are on here. There's going to have to be a lot of modifications made to this to smooth out, to do the notches, everything else. So this is a runner. Do they even have this labeled? It's actually K, but I have it first in the box. And this is going to be the stand. So these are all your pieces for the stand, and then your piece here, which I don't think there was a, oh yeah, there was, on the decal sheet to go on there. Just saying some specs, things like that. So we'll get that out of the way. Now most of these, there are duplicates. So on runner A, you're going to have, actually I think on runner A there are there's 3 identical runners. So you get all these edge pieces, lots of little pistons. These are for the engines in the back. These are for the leg stabilizers, which these are going to get scrapped because I actually have photo etch replacements for those. These are the vents that are going to go in here, but these are going to get scrapped because I have photo etch of those. I wish it would get here so that I knew exactly what I had for what. But yeah, there's three of those runners. You'd be surprised how little runners there are of this compared to how many pieces there are. Now there's going to be 2 runners of B. So we'll kick that one out of the way. So you got for the top and bottom gunner section, door hatches, all these little pistons and brackets. I think there's some doors here, seats, different seats, hoses. There are so many little pieces on here that you have to be careful not to bend and break. On runner C, you actually get 2 of these. These are your outer side hatches for your docking panels. Just there's freaking greebles everywhere. Alright, on runner D, you have just one of these. You get satellite dish. These are going to be the inserts in the body for where the holes are in the front. So going through. Alright, and then on to runner E. So we're actually going to have lighting coming in through here. You've got this grill part, and then there will be actually a clear part over that, over all of that. Here's that piece I was talking about. That's a transmission for the, I think, 124th Porsche. But again, all these little pieces, most of these all go on the exterior. There's very little, if anything, that goes on the interior. For runner F, just more of the same. You've got some gear pieces in here. Alright, for runner G, you have the cockpit assembly, the tube, the corridor, let's call it the corridor, that goes into the main body of the ship. The back here, which I believe that gets replaced with photo etch. I have photo etch for that. You get your canopy. You get more little pieces, tubes, this, that, the other, and then you get all your different little figures here. And they're not the best detail, to be honest. But they're not bad. You know, they're soft detail. I might check and see if there's, I haven't looked, but I might check and see if there's aftermarket ones that are in better detail. Like Chewbacca kind of just looks like a, I don't know what he looks like. He just kind of looks like a Muppet. That's the best way I can describe it. It doesn't look like Chewbacca. It looks like a Muppet. So I'll see what we can do about changing that. I always thought, like, I'd see people's videos and I'm like, holy crap, they kind of did a crappy paint job on that. But no, they didn't do a crappy paint job. Just crappy molding. And then you get a bag of screws and stuff. And last but not least, and I have to turn this up because I can't see crap. Okay, so you get the clear pieces. Now, I rarely ever see anybody use these in their kits, but you get the top and bottom gunner seats, the front and the top canopy of the windshield. I don't know if I'm going to end up using that. I think a lot of people don't, because it cuts off where you can see in the cockpit. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I kind of like having it in there because I don't want to worry about dust and stuff. Plus I'm going to have fiber optics and stuff lighting in there anyway, so you're going to see it no matter what. Alright guys, so that is it. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Like I said, I'll do another video, and I think I'll do it once I get the new camera all set up, to go over this, because I know a few friends that will actually want to see this in detail, and I'm just not getting it with this stupid webcam. Alright guys, but yeah, look forward to this, because it has a lot of cool information in here. I will talk to you guys all later. Everyone have a great night, and peace out.